So, as a medium, we experience all kinds of scenarios and situations. Not every reading is dynamic, some are kind of plain, but then we have readings that are special. They stand out for a reason. And so today was one of those days. The first reading that I had was a father. And he came through and he was warm and he was so profoundly proud of his family. He was a gentleman where this was everything to him. He went through the evidence. He talked about the kind of person he was, but you could just feel his warmth. And his daughter was having the reading, and she'd had many readings. This reading was a gift for her from her mother. Anyway, Dad identified himself and continued to then talk about his family that's here. He talked about his grandsons. He talked about his daughter and her business and what was going to happen with it and how it was going to progress. When he talked about the grandsons, he knew what their personalities were like. He brought awareness of the small baby one and smiled and joked and about how he was this almost like a tiny little man. He had the personality of this man that was like taking no rubbish from anyone, even though he was in this tiny little 2-year-old body. And his grandfather in spirit was so proud it tickled his fancy watching this child. And he reflected on his oldest grandson and how he's a little bit cheeky, but he's really sensitive and noticing that he's a sensitive young man and at school and sometimes in these spaces where even though he's uncomfortable being at school with his friends and he's working his way through that because he's so sensitive, that he's still doing it. And so the grandfather was really, really proud of how he's showing up at school and how his daughter, this little boy's mum, was supporting and nurturing him in that space. But the thing that also came up, which was interesting, was the grandfather was screwing up his eyes like this, like he's really screwing them up, and pointing to where he had gestured, where energetically he had placed his grandson, so I could work out the difference of all the children. And as I did this, I'm like, it's almost as if he's trying to tell me that there's a focusing, like the child's trying to focus, and like when you screw your eyes up and you're trying to bring them into focus. And the mum verified that she has noticed he was doing it exactly how I did it with my face. And she had pondered, should she go and get that checked? And the grandfather was endorsing that. He's saying, hey, he's bringing it into her awareness again. So she would go and get it checked. These tiny little moments that kind of seem like they're nothing, right? They kind of seem like they're little insignificant moments in our life. When spirit brings through something like that, that demonstrates that they are here for the little things, not just the big things, the little things, and that they can give us support about our everyday life. When I was learning, I used to get told that they don't know that stuff. It's not my truth. They are still here. They're just in a different form. They don't miss anything. They know how you feel. They know what you think. There's no privacy in that space, which is kind of daunting. But they see everything. So they see that this grandfather saw that his grandson, his oldest grandson, is at school and he's, engaging and struggling in that space, but also that there's something going on with his eyes. So they can still help us in that way. They're the moments to me that are so special. Those moments that seem so insignificant in our life. But when spirit notices it and brings it up, it makes me aware of the significance of what occurs from the celestial, from spirit space, about how spirit is always with us. They don't go anywhere. If anything, they're with us more than what they were when they had a body, because they see every moment, feel every emotion, and experience everything along the journey as you do.